Holy shit. Remember when we all thought Jurassic Park was dead? Jurassic Park 3 couldn't kill your childhood franchise. Nothing can. Jurassic World. So Jurassic World is a new Jurassic movie in the Jurassic Park franchise. And it's not a reboot. I mean, the events of the old Jurassic Park actually happened, which this movie never actually explains how after that catastrophe, they opened this park. Like, legally speaking, it's like, yeah, we can totally open this park and people will come and visit. Further proof people are idiots, I guess. So in Jurassic World, Bryce Dallas Howard is more or less the overseer of the park, and they're doing some crazy stuff like you saw in the trailer, because people just kind of get bored with things that are extraordinary and new. So now they have to genetically modify and splice together new dinosaurs, and thus it all turns to shit, because you know it's going to, because we all listened to Ian Malcolm from the first movie. I do like that that is a part of this movie. They address that. They're like, hey, that's not a good idea to do, and you did it. But ultimately, this new thing called Indominus Rex gets out, or I call him Holy Shitosaurus. So now a crew of guys who might as well be wearing red Star Trek uniforms and Chris Pratt need to go hunt down Holy Shitosaurus and take him down. And this movie does have merit. I will say this. Merit's a strong word. I can say this. There is enjoyment to be had in this movie if you see it as a monster movie, not a Jurassic Park movie. But you shouldn't have to do that. I mean, it carries the Jurassic title and the logo. It's part of the world, so you should be able to judge this based on the Jurassic Park world. You should be able to compare this to the first Jurassic Park movie, but it just seems unfair because it completely pales in comparison. I knew this movie was going to not have the Jurassic Park magic when the music was swelling. I was getting really excited. You're like, oh, the park, and the kid swings open the doors like it's Christmas. And the theme dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, is panning over buildings. And buildings. This song should probably be reserved for really cool shit like dinosaurs. Anything more interesting than the landscape of buildings, that's all I'm saying. Right there, I was like, I don't think they know how to capture the feels. I think this is gonna be a monster movie. Everyone in this movie is a cartoon version of themselves also. Bryce Dallas Howard, she's the really uptight businesswoman. Everything needs to be scheduled. She wears high heels through the entire, I swear to God. I didn't notice this until the very end. There is a shot at the end of the movie where you see her full body shot and you're like, have you been doing all that shit in high heels this entire time? She did it. She goes to recruit Chris Pratt, who's pretty much the Velociraptor. He can like signal Velociraptors like, guys, eyes on me, eyes on me. She's like, we need your help. And there's this fly buzzing around her and he's cleaning a motorcycle. He's like, it's all about the relationship. And then he snatches the fly. He literally grabbed the fly out of the air. He's like, how can I help you? He's a cartoon also. Vincent D'Onofrio is like the militant guy, like we need to weaponize dinosaurs. And he's a complete cartoon version of him because this movie had moments of comedic relief in it. It would have been fine to have comedy relief. The difference between Jurassic Park and Jurassic World is the characters were fallible. They were human beings. The comedy relief was said because someone like Ian Malcolm would say something that Ian Malcolm said in that moment. But the comedy relief in Jurassic World is just shoehorned in this movie for the sake of there being a comedic moment, at the compromise of the moment as a whole. I did like some of the comedy relief in this movie. What I didn't like was when there was a real moment that completely failed at being a real moment because people in the theater were laughing because it was executed so cheesy, and then thus it became accidental comedy relief. You know that line in the trailer where Chris Pratt's like, we do this, we do it my way. That is like tip of the iceberg shit. That's not even the worst thing that I've heard in Jurassic World. I don't even know if that line was in Jurassic World. But it really is not to say there isn't enjoyment in this movie as a monster movie. They address the Holy Shitosaurus as a monster. It doesn't even act like a dinosaur because it's like a Frankenstein. So at that point, it does have some fun, intense scenes where it's like, oh shit, we gotta get away from Holy Shitosaurus. Oh, the pterodactyls are coming down. Oh, that's crazy too. Dinosaurs, murder and mayhem. What's not to like, really? Well, except a lot. And because of the cheesy lines, the predictable shit, I mean, everyone in this movie that was going to die, you knew was going to die. It has fun, like, monster movie romp moments, but it doesn't have that intense shit. It doesn't have the kitchen scene from the first Jurassic Park movie. The out-of-place comedy relief, the fake tears. There's this one scene where this girl cries. No, it was like Charlie Sheen at the end of Wall Street crying. It was bad. The movie had conflicting tone between its comedy relief and its serious moments. The movie's a bit messy as a whole, but in the end, I will say there is enjoyment to be had in Jurassic World. If you're drunk. Yeah, now it's a party. So wait, so the little girl in Jurassic Park was right when she called them monsters? Yeah, that's right. You remember that shit? Remember when Lex in Jurassic Park said, aren't the monsters gonna come over here? And Alan Grant's like, they're not monsters, Lex, they're just animals. And you were like, oh, all right, they're animals. That's right. That's really cool. I always saw them as monsters, but in reality, they are animals. Well, 20 years later, Lex is validated. Now they're monsters. Right, guys, so Jurassic World, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.